Hey there, how's it going? So last week I took you through a visualization on discovering something to release. And it was a little bit more than just something. It was actually in relation to something that you're holding on to a little bit too tightly, that the personality has actually just wrapped itself around it and has formed an identity with it. And so I wanted to talk a little bit about what occurred in that visualization. If you haven't gone through it, I have the link below for you to do that, because this is part 2 to that. And I'm going to take you through the next part of visualizing what is coming up for you. So one of the things that is occurring for all of us is that we are all stepping into this new way of being. You've heard this time and time again, but now you're actually doing it. But it's not molasses that you've been going through, but there's an emotional releasing that's been happening for a lot of you. And it's because you're being asked to kind of, as I said last week, take a detour. It's not like you're off your path of purpose, but you are going down this detour because you are collecting new information, and you're also looking at what is holding you back. So in my visions, just so you know, whenever something is on the right-hand side, it means we're talking about the future. When anything is on the left-hand side, we're talking about the past, and anything straight ahead is present. So in the first part of the visualization, there was a detour that showed up for you. You had to make a right-hand turn. So we're moving into the future. There's something you need to release. You ended up stepping into fog, a mist, something that you needed to trust to just keep stepping forward as you move forward on this path, because you're not sure what it is that's coming forward. And you also, there's something on the side of the road that was on the side of the road on the left-hand side that you needed to be aware of. And it's a tool or technique that you use in your practice. For example, for me, it was showing color. And I'm like, oh, what? That's what I do. But what it's showing is that it's almost like, and I've talked with several people about this, so this has all come up for them. It's like, it's something that you do and you offer. Maybe it's your mainstay in your business, yet you're maybe relying on it too much. That's not your superpower. That's not what you're here to be doing. I mean, it's a tool you use, but it's almost like you hide behind it. I know I have been hiding behind color for a long time, and I finally just released it and said, okay, no more, I'm not hiding. Hi, everyone. And so this is what that whole vision was about. What is it that you're basically hiding behind? It's what the personality literally attaches and uses as identity, as a comfort or a safety blanket, a security blanket. So now I'd like to move forward, because what happened after you saw that tool, that technique, whatever it was that came up for you, now it's like the path is opened up and there is opportunity for you. And what is this thing that you really should be really focusing on? And it could be that this detour is a new line of work, or it could be that it is a new way of looking at things, or recognizing all your power that you have and to start showcasing it. We get really afraid of doing this, but I'm sorry, the time is now and you've got to just buck up and do it. Okay, so let's do this second vision, the second part. Go ahead and close your eyes. Just take a breath. I want you to envision yourself back in on this path that you were from the visualization. And you've just passed and stepped back from that fog vision of that item. And now you're stepping forward. You're back on the detour path. You're still on the detour, but it's a path that's opened up. And it could be very sunny. You can see clearly. It's still a dirt trodden path, okay, but it's been well traveled. and there's fields or could be mountains on either side. Just kind of take a look at the landscape. You may see a tree line close by. On your left, you may see that. On your right, you may see open fields. So just kind of take in the environment that you are within as you're walking down this path. And as you're walking, you see a town or a village ahead, okay? And I want you to just kind of take it in. Notice the buildings, the structure. Is there a fence around this town? Is it more modern? Is it more old world? Is it a small town? Is it big and bustling? Are there lots of cars? Are there no cars? Just kind of take this in. You may just see it from far away and may just see the buildings and the colors of the buildings, but just take notice as you're walking towards it. And you notice that on your right-hand side is your guide. One of your guides is standing there. You may not be able to see them, but you know they're there. And they're walking with you. And it's almost like they're holding a lantern and lighting the way for you, even though you can see clearly like it's daytime. Still, they are there with you, showing you the way. So this is not you just meandering into this town. It's them guiding you. Okay, so you want to follow their lead. They're just maybe one step ahead of you, but they're right beside you. And their arm is outstretched with this lantern, with this light that they're showing you. Follow this. Okay, so you are following it and you come close to the outskirts of the town. And notice what's on the outskirts. Are you met by a fence? Are you met by a brick fence? Or are they ramparts? Is it old world? Is it something that there's just flowers and you notice a creek that you need to step over? But is there some kind of barrier that you need to step over to step into the energy of this town or village? So just notice that. That's all. Just notice it and follow the lead of your guide. You may find yourself walking down more of a paved path or road. Notice the details of this road. Is it cobblestone? Is it more paved asphalt? Is it concrete? Is it grass? What is it? Just notice this. Notice the buildings on the right and the left. Is there a difference between them? Are some more residential in one area, or is there more commerce in another area? You want to go towards the commerce area because we're talking about your work, your business. So walk towards, your guide's going to show you where to go towards this commerce area. And there may be a specific building that you just find yourself right smack in front of looking up at. But you want to be there in front. It may just pop up for you, like you've just literally floated and landed, time traveled, basically, miraculously traveled from the path that you were on to standing in front of this building. And I want you to look at this building. Is it one story? Is it two story? How big is it? What's the color of it? Just notice all the details, the windows, the energy, the essence of this building. And your guide is now really walking you up to the front door, to the entry doors, and you're going to step in through the doors. And as you step in through the doors, you may notice a lobby. You may notice some kind of reception area, but he's guiding you to a particular room. So however you get there, where it's going, if you're going downstairs, if you're going upstairs, if you're going down a hallway, it doesn't quite matter all of those particular details at this time. We just want you to get to that room, that space. This room is important. Okay. So you're standing in front of the door of the room that you need to be in. And this is the room to the new line of work or an extension of your work. So your guide opens the door for you, and there's all of almost like this gold glitter and sparkly light that is at the threshold as you step through. And you know, it's like, okay, I'm not in Kansas anymore. This is a really special room. And it's filled with a unique gold energy that is amplifying who you are. Notice, are there people in here to greet you? Who is here to greet you? Men, women, a mixture of both? What are they wearing? What do they represent to you? And I want you to also notice, is this a room filled with desks and tables? Is it a workroom? Is it a conference room? What is it that you're stepping into? What is this? So notice the details of this particular room and the people that are there to greet you. The number can be helpful. If there's just one person, that's very important to note. If there's 3 or more people, that's also important to note. And they may ask you to sit down because they're going to have a conversation with you. They may write things on a whiteboard. They may hand you a file. They may put a computer in front of you. They may put a paintbrush in front of you. It may be a workroom filled with canvases. So whatever this is, just notice, what are they doing? What are they asking you to do? What tool are they giving you to look at? Is it a file folder? Is it a computer? Is it a paintbrush? Is it a crystal ball? What is it that they're giving you? Just be with that. You don't have to see it. It's a feeling, it's a sense a lot of the times. All right, so now you need to be with the question, what exactly is this? And your mind is going to want to latch and try and figure it out. And I'm just asking you to allow this feeling and this vision to set with you right now. And that's all we're going to do for today. So go ahead and thank these people in the room for their time. And your guide is just going to step you outside of the building. So now that you can just sit and enjoy the energy that is around you, knowing that this is like a new step, a little bit of an addition or a detour in addition to what you're currently doing. Something that you've done in the past, maybe that you need to bring back. It could be something brand new. So just know that, and when you're ready, you can open your eyes. Okay, so what I will tell you about some of these symbols is that the perimeter of this town, of this village, that fence is the barriers that you have put up to enter into this new avenue for you. And so if it was just like, hey, you just need to step over a little stream, it could be an emotional barrier. The creek water is emotion. So that could be it. If it's something where there is an open gate, then it's open for you. You just may have like, hey, there's a perimeter to this. This is a protected special place. So just notice, what was the barrier to the entry? Did you have to climb over a wall? So it might take you some work to get to this point. But make note of that. What was on the right of you? So that could have been a bunch of residential buildings, or it could have been that's where the commerce is, or maybe on the left, it was showing the commerce. So wherever the commerce part was, you're either tapping into your past work or you're tapping into future new opportunities if it was on the right. So that's going to help you determine, oh, well, I saw it on the left. Okay, so it's something from your past experience that you're going to be tapping into. Okay. Then I want you to think about the building itself. Was it 1 story? Was it 2 story? Was it 3 story? Was it multi-level? This will tell you the size of your work or the business. Let's put it that way. It's not like your size is great. So just like if it's 1 story, it means that it's more personal, one-on-one. Okay. If it's 2 story or 3 story, then it means like you've got different levels to this. You may have one-on-one offerings. You may have group offerings. So there's a little bit more to it. If it's like Skyrise, right, then this is a big company that you are creating, you're part of. Now think about the room that you entered. What was it like? What you felt and saw, whether it was a conference room, whether it was a workplace, a workshop filled with paintings, whatever it might be for you, that's the work. That's the level of work that you'll be doing and adding on. So for example, if it was a boardroom, then there's corporate work there. Okay. All right. The people, what were they like? If it's 3 or more, then it means you're working in groups and there is a collaborative decision-making happening there. If it's just 1 person, you're doing one-on-one. So that should help you. Now, the last thing was they gave you something to look at, whether it was a computer, a file folder, a crystal ball, a paintbrush, whatever it might be. That's your key to what you are bringing to the table. So that should help you. And this is all for you in bringing your work out here to the world. Like, don't be afraid of it. It might be something that you're afraid of doing, or like, where do I start? How do I begin? And so you can sit with that and journal about it. But this is at least gives you some clues to help you on your path. And I hope that was helpful. And if you have any questions, or leave them in the comments below, and I will see you next week.